What's up, my people? It's Cat Sports again. Now, this is a sports channel, so let's talk some sports. Now, as always, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. Just Boxing Talk. We're a group of people that just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. Now, you don't have to have a channel, podcast, anything like that. The only requirement is you have to just love to talk boxing. Al Booger, Tim Layton, JBT. What's up, fellows? We're back again for an afternoon of boxing talk. How's everybody today? Salute, Tim Layton. Good to see you again, bro. And happy birthday to your son again. He's gonna have a big birthday present Saturday with those two nice cards we got. How's everybody's day going this time? Still rolling along nice? It's good to be off work. Okay, now, what are we going to talk about today? Okay, I'm going to continue down the road of talking about the different aspects of the sport we love. You know. Today I'm going to talk about boxing styles. And if I have time, I want to talk about that other card Saturday. Because everybody's talking about Regis and Devin and sleeping on that big top rank card. Showcasing a lot of their young stars they got go over there, or stars to be. And you know what? Earlier in the week, I was talking to some hardcore boxing fans, and they didn't even know about the top rank card. That just shows you the lack of promoting they're doing over there at Top Rank. It's ridiculous. And with the young stars on that card, it would have been very easy to promote. You know, with BC Ramirez, then the Zayas. What's up, Thomas Morris? How you been? Haven't seen you in a little while. Tampa Thomas Morris in the building, y'all. Another one of my regular supporters. Thomas, I was just saying, we're going to talk a little bit about boxing styles today. You know, like things like pressure fighter, outside fighter, you know, the different styles. We'll get into it. Just little chat with my people for a minute before we get started. But you know what I mean, different styles like the peekaboo and pressure fighters, sticky move, that kind of stuff. We'll get into it. But I'm just amazed by people just not talking about that big top rank card Saturday. Oh, I know you've been working hard, Thomas Morris. That's a good thing. Work hard and then spend that paycheck hard. But it's good to see you though. Let's get into these boxing styles, okay? Boxing styles and technique. Now, throughout the history of blood boxing styles, techniques and strategies have changed to varying degrees, right? Ring conditions, promoter demands, teaching techniques, and the influence of successful boxers are some of the reasons styles and strategies have fluctuated, right? Okay, now, there are 4 main categories of boxing styles. And every boxer falls into one of the 4 main styles, okay? We got the pressure fighter, we got the outboxer, we got the brawler, and we got the boxer puncher, right? Now, there are many different subcategories for these styles, but all boxers can be classified by one of those 4 main styles. Think about it. Pressure fighter, outboxer, brawler, and boxer puncher. Okay? Let's talk about pressure fighter first. Okay? All right, pressure fighter. Also known as a swarmer, or an infighter, or a crowder, but more commonly known as pressure fighter, right? Pressure fighters fight very aggressively in close quarters, right? This style involves bombarding the opponent with attacks to prevent effective counters and weighing down the opponent's defenses by attrition, right? Notably, a pressure fighter is identified by their forward movement, prioritizing their positioning at the edge of their opponent's range above achieving a favorable position in the ring, okay? Pressure fighter will prioritize their positioning at the edge of their opponent's range rather than achieving a favorable position in the ring. Now, boxers using this style consistently stay within or at the edge of the punching range of their opponent, forcing their opponent to engage on the back foot, either retreating or attempting counter punches, right? Pressure fighters want to keep their opponent on the back foot, you know. Now, this tends to require a large investment of energy on the part of both fighters, right? Meaning one goal of an effective pressure fighter is to exhaust their opponent, okay? Pressure fighters rely heavily on an understanding of position, more commonly referred to as footwork, to continually present a threat to their opponent while simultaneously paying attention to defensive concerns. Pressure fighters typically also rely on head movement and clinching, as these forms of defense serve both offensive and defensive purposes from the closer ranges required for the pressure style. Head movement, clinching are staples of the pressure fighter style. Think about it. Pressure fighters tend to enter engagements methodically. Scam, come on, man. Don't you know I'm live? Scam. Okay. Pressure fighters tend to enter engagements methodically, right? They prioritize initiating engagement usually by entering their opponent's punching range using a combination of footwork, feints, and straight punches or uppercuts. right? Pressure fighter coming in. Using footwork, feints, straight punches, or uppercuts. Once inside of the opponent's range, the pressure fighter's objective is to score, land punches. Then quickly exit the engagement, ideally at the very edge of the opponent's punching range, right? Score, get back out to the edge of range, Work your way back in. Now, instead of exiting, a pressure fighter may also exert pressure by initiating a clinch, right? After punching, while fighting in very close quarters. Ideally, the pressure fighter will seek to leverage their weight over their opponent in the clinch, forcing their opponent to expend energy, holding the pressure fighter's weight, right? Successful pressure fighters tend to have a good chin, yes, as this style involves entering the punching range of their opponent before they can maneuver inside where they are more effective. Yes, a good chin is mandatory on a pressure fighter, right or wrong. Pressure fighters are often either fighters of smaller stature or fighters with shorter reach, as these fighters more frequently have to get inside of their opponent's punching range to land punches. Smaller stature, shorter reach. Although this is not a rule, and there are examples of pressure fighters of all sizes and body types. Now here are some commonly known pressure fighters, right? Check it out. Check this list out. Commonly known pressure fighters. And it's not just now, it's going back in the day and, throughout boxing. Henry Armstrong, Carmen Basilio, David Benavidez, Artur Beterbiev, these are pressure fighters, gentlemen. Tommy Burns, Joe Kawasaki, Jose Luis Castillo, right? Julio Cesar Chavez, Sr., Derek Chisora, Miguel Cotto, Isaac Cruz, yep, Jack Dempsey, Roberto Duran. It's not just this era, it's just pressure fighters, period, in boxing history. Tommy Morrison, Joe Frazier, Gennady Golovkin, Wilfredo Gomez, Harry Grieve, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Now, all these guys aren't strictly pressure fighters, but pressure fighting was a part of their game. This list I'm reading, right? Fighting Harada, never heard of. Anybody ever heard of Fighting Harada? Wow. Ricky Hatton, Naoya Inoue, Earl Spence Jr., Tomoki Kameda, Jake LaMotta, Vasil Lomachenko, Marcos Madonna, Rocky Marciano. These are guys, I was talking about pressure fighter. These are guys that are pressure fighters. Not strictly pressure fighters, but pressure fighting is a part of their game. Antonio Margarito. Some of them are just straight pressure fighters too. Lucas Matias, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Patterson, Sean Porter, Evander Holyfield, Aaron Pryor, yeah. You put pressure fighter, just put a picture of Aaron Pryor beside it. Dwight Muhammad Kwawi, remember him? Light heavyweight. Brandon Rios, Andy Ruiz Jr., Orlando Salido, Leo Santa Cruz, Josh Taylor. Mike Tyson, he was on there. Oscar Valdez, Edwin Valero, Mickey Ward, Winky Wright. Okay, now, the next category we're going to talk about is going to be like the outboxer. Okay, the outboxer. Where's everybody at today? 2:30. They'll be here. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the outboxer. Okay, the outboxer. Well, let me take a drink first. Soda. Okay, talking about boxing styles. We just went over pressure fighter. Next will be the outboxer. Okay. I saw Al Booger early, but he left out. I was late. Okay. Now the outboxer. Okay, that's the next boxing style we're going to talk about. Let's get into the outboxer. What's up, Remo? Going over some boxing styles as promised. We just got finished talking about the pressure fighter. Now we're going to talk about outboxing. Mike Mason. Don't forget to smash the like, gentlemen. I remember before I started my channel, I would be always hear people saying smash the like all the time, and I'm thinking, well, why do they keep saying that? But now I know, and I keep saying it. Because the likes help, you know. Like my friend Jay Hardcore says, that like button makes the algorithm do the boogie woogie and go out there and get like-minded people and bring them in. What's up, Mike? How you be this afternoon, Remo? Good to see you, fellas, once again. Okay, we're talking about boxing styles. Now, we're going to talk about the style called the outboxer, right? The outboxer, outfighter, or sometimes just simply called boxer. You know what I'm talking about, though. The outboxer opponent's punching range when disengaged The outboxer seeks to stay well outside of their opponent's punching range when disengaged and land long-range punches. I think we got an outboxer coming up this weekend, right? You know who I'm talking about. Devin. This style can be seen as an inverse of pressure fighting. Outboxers are known for quick movement and an emphasis on optimal positioning in the ring, known as ring craft or ring generalship. Okay, D for the win. What's up, broski? How you doing this afternoon? D for the win in the building. Excuse me for a second, gentlemen. But how are you, D for the win? We're going over boxing styles. You missed pressure fighter. Now we're working on outboxer, okay? Outboxer is somebody like Devin, okay? Now, looks to stay well outside of the opponent's punching range when disengaged. And they look to land long-range punches. I got Instagram. Okay, I'm gonna put my Instagram in the chat, Remo. Okay. And now You know I can't do two things at the same time, Remo. Will Instagram be good enough for you, Remo? Let me put that in the chat for you. Oh man, what is it? That's my Instagram. It's Bear with me for 1 second, gentlemen. I was gonna say ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's probably some ladies out there listening. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go, Remo. Then we're gonna get back to these boxing styles. All small letters, Remo. And there it is. Okay. Okay, back to the boxing styles. Outboxer. And Devin Haney would be known as the outboxer. Since these fighters rely on punches from long range, the focus of these fighters tends to be obtaining a favorable position using footwork and feints, then using the threat of these punches to draw counters from their opponents, or else corral their opponents in the unfavorable position along the ropes or in the corner of the ring, thus making their opponent's movements much easier to anticipate. Okay? Using positioning outside of their opponent's range, a successful outboxer will score using their jab and attempt to anticipate their opponent's response, applying an appropriate counter. That describes Devin Haney to a T in what he's going to do this weekend. I know you're listening, B3. Describes Devin to a T. And others. I don't even know. The Crow, he invented a new category from what he did in his last fight. They got to come up with a new boxing style for that nonsense. Outboxers rely on the defensive advantage given to them by staying outside of their opponent's punching range. Their opponent is forced to initiate engagement from this range, and a successful outboxer will attempt to reduce possible responses of their opponents using feints and footwork. In particular, achieving a favorable angle where the opponent is within the outboxer's punching range, while the outboxer is outside of theirs. An outboxer's style is often typified by speed and a focus on accurate punches over knockout blows. Right. Exactly. Outboxers are generally taller fighters with long reach, as these fighters tend to be more able to threaten punches from outside of their opponent's range. Okay, now here are some commonly known outboxers. All right. Chris Algieri, Muhammad Ali, Dimitri Bivol, Tiger Flowers. Never heard of him. Anybody heard of Tiger Flowers? What is that? Anybody in the chat ever heard of Tiger Flowers? I haven't. He must be one of those guys from way back, because these names are not just these days. It's just boxers, you know. Stephen Fulton, Tyson Fury. Told you, Devin Haney. Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Now see, just like pressure, all these names are not strictly outboxers. It's just outboxing is part of their game. That's like when I was reading the list of the pressure fighters, all those guys weren't just strictly pressure fighters, but that was a part of their game. Like Devin Haney wouldn't be nowhere near a pressure fighter, but you had some fighters could be a pressure fighter, and outboxing still be part of the game too, you know. Devin Haney, I'm gonna say his name twice. Jack Johnson, Amir Khan, Hitchens, yeah, that's right, Remo, Hitchens. He might be on here. Vladimir Klitschko has got the one with the W. Benny Leonard, Sugar Ray Leonard, Lennox Lewis. No, they don't have Hitchens on here, pal. Nicolino Luch, Paulie Malignaggi, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Willie Pep, Caleb Plant, Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, I was waiting on him. Gene Tunney, Jersey Joe Walcott, Pernell Whitaker, Winky Wright. See, Winky Wright was on the pressure fighter list too. So he was a pressure fighter and an outboxer. Remember? Winky Wright was on the pressure fighter list. And Jimmy Young. Okay. Now, the next category will be brawler. So it was four different boxing styles: pressure fighter, outboxer, brawler, and I forgot what the other one was. But see, there's a lot of subcategories too now. But all boxers fall in one of these main categories, some kind of way. Okay, I'm gonna see what the fourth one was. I forgot. Okay, it was pressure fighter, outboxer, brawler, and boxer puncher. Okay. Sometimes outboxer is just called referred to as boxer too. Okay. Diego Corrales got in. I thought he should have been in there. D4 to win. Wow. Diego Corrales. I thought he was. But it's good that he's in there. It's good that he's in there. But I thought he was already in there. Okay. Where was I? I was on the third star. Nope, not boxer puncher. I was on the one before that. Brawler, yeah. Yeah, D4 to win. I thought for sure that Diego was in there. Now, I wonder what category Diego would fall in, since we're talking about that. What would Diego be? Pressure fighter, outboxer, brawler, or boxer puncher? Boxer puncher? Would that be Diego Corrales? Boxer puncher? Somebody put it in the chat for me. Okay. Let's take a look at brawler. Brawler. If the outboxer represents everything elegant about boxing, the brawler, slugger, puncher embodies everything brutal about the sport. Okay. Because the brawler is sometimes called a slugger, sometimes called a puncher. Mike Rhyme. What's up? Mike Rhyme in the building. I knew my people was going to be coming in here. Okay. He'll be sitting up here talking to two people. Better late than never. Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more in the building. Told you. People coming in here now. Salute, Bruce Gas. Going over boxing styles. We talked about the pressure fighter, the outboxer, or sometimes just called boxer. Now we're talking about brawlers. Everything's good, Bruce. What's up with you today? Let's get into this brawler. Now, start over. I only read one sentence. If the outboxer represents everything elegant about boxing, the brawler embodies everything brutal about the sport. Offensively, the brawler possesses the best balance and knockout capabilities due to their tendency to plant their feet on the ground while fighting. The most elite sluggers can punch with power from every angle. Some have the ability to corner their opponents to ensure they fall prey to their devastating punches. When it comes to defense, They make use of grappling techniques to smother their opponents and leave them vulnerable to power punches. Okay? At the same time, they tend to be the masters of defensive movements in the danger zone of being punched. They apply subtle defensive movements such as slipping and minimal ducking to reduce the damage they take in punching zones. Okay? Most brawlers lack mobility in the ring and may have difficulty pursuing fighters who are fast on their feet. That is not always the case. Okay? Remo says, Rolly is a brawler. No damn skills or technique. You don't get alerts, Mike? Do you gotta hit that, like when you see my thumbnail, you gotta hit notify. Okay, because I'll try to put my thumbnails up early. I put my thumbnails up almost as soon as I finish this one. You know, within like an hour after I finish this. And then you make sure you hit that notify, Mike. Have you been doing that? But sometimes people just don't get them, but make sure you do that. That'll give you a better chance of getting them. Go to my thumbnail and hit notify. Because I usually put it up as soon as I finish this one. I usually put the next one up. Because my thumbnail is always the same. I don't have any kind of title or prearranged subject matter. You know, I come in here, I go over my little boxing subject for today, you know, whatever I'm gonna talk about, like today's boxing styles, and then our conversations go wherever they lead us, you know. Okay. Group Mike Bruce Gadd says, go unsub, then resub, and hit the bell. You should get them. Okay, try that, Mike, because I want you to get them. I need you to get them. Because you are one of my regulars. I don't know what you two are trying to do to me. Okay. Most brawlers lack mobility in the ring and may have difficulty, I read that, pursuing fighters who are fast on their feet, but that is not always the case. Compared to swarmers are pressure fighters. Compared to pressure fighters and outboxers, brawlers normally throw power shots and rely less on combination. Brawlers often throw predictable punching patterns, single punches with obvious leads, which can leave them open for counter punching. So what they're saying is brawlers are easy to time, you know. But brawlers ain't worrying about that. They're just trying to get in there and get you up out of there. The brawler be like, time me all you want to. But, you know, it's not going to take me much to get you up out of here. They not, and brawlers usually have good chins, too. Okay? Now, here are some commonly known brawlers. Thomas Morris says, that's such an interesting conversation, but I think Duran was the very best of brawlers from 155, 154. Okay, Thomas, I'm getting ready to name some brawlers. I'm sure Roberto Duran is on this list. Here's some commonly known brawlers, and this is not just from now, this is throughout boxing history. Max Baer, Iran Barkley, David Benavidez, Artur Beterbiev, Frank Bruno, John Real Casimiro, Jerry Cooney, Gervonta Davis. Let's see, these guys aren't, all these guys aren't just brawlers, but brawling is a part of their style. Gervonta Davis, Jack Dempsey. Here you go, Thomas. Roberto Duran. I knew he was on the list. Eric Butterbean, Butterbean. Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank? What? Chris Eubank? I don't know about that. Chris Eubank, what y'all think? Are they talking about the senior? Chris Eubank? I don't know. George Foreman, Carl Froch, Gene Fullmer, Arturo Gatti, Rocky Graziano, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. See, they had him on the pressure fighter list also. Marvelous Marvin. The senior, okay, Remo, right. Because when I first saw Chris Eubank, I was thinking about the son, Junior. Okay, Yeah, good point, Remo. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Nassim Hamed, the Hitman Thomas Hearns, Julian Jackson. Yeah, Thomas Hearns tried to brawl with Marvin Hagler and got him knocked out. Remember that? James Toney, yeah. I bet he's on here, Thomas. Okay, because the alphabetical order. Julian Jackson, Stanley Ketchum, Vitaly Klitschko, Jake LaMotta, Sonny Liston. Yeah. I'm surprised Sonny wasn't on the pressure list, but he wasn't. Ron Lyles, Marcus Madonna. Madonna was on pressure list too. Ilunga Makabu. That's the one Canelo was trying to go up there and fight right the cruiserweight. Tony Ayala Jr. Yeah, they didn't have him on here, Thomas. I'm surprised about that. Antonio Margarito, Lucas Matthias, Terrell McClellan, Terry McGovern, Ray Mercer, Shane Mosley, Rolando Navarrete, Olajide Olatuni Jr., Virgil Ortiz Jr., Ruslan Provenikov, Aaron Pryor, Brandon Rios. Ernest Shavers. There you go, Thomas. Mike Tyson. No, Remo said Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. They didn't have James Toney on here, Thomas. Wow. Edwin Valero, Deontay Wilder, Cleveland Williams. Wow. I would have thought James Toney would have been on there too. But they didn't have him. Wow. I'm gonna drop the link in a minute. Okay, we got the last category is boxer puncher of the main four. Now they said there's subcategories, but the pressure fighter, outboxer or boxer, brawler, and boxer puncher. Every boxer falls somewhere in those four categories. Now there's subcategories where they fit more comfortably in, but every one of them fits in these four categories somewhere. I'm surprised James Toney wasn't on there though. Wow, I was expecting to see him. Wow. Boxer puncher. The fourth main category. Boxer puncher. The boxer puncher possesses many of the qualities of the outboxer. Yeah, I was thinking that. Hand speed, often an outstanding jab combination, and or counter-punching skills. Better defense and accuracy than a brawler. Yeah. While possessing brawler-type power. Boxer puncher, yeah. This is boxer and puncher. This is boxer puncher, I guess, is a mixture of the outboxer and brawler, I guess, yeah. The boxer puncher may also be more willing to fight in an aggressive swarmer style than an outboxer, yeah. Outboxer ain't coming nowhere near the pocket. Boxer puncher is willing to come in the pocket and mix it up. Yeah. The outboxer has to be forced in there, like Regis gonna have to try to do Devin this weekend. I haven't seen Regis' name in none of these. So they said every boxer probably in one of these categories. Which category would Regis fall in, y'all? Pressure fighter, outboxer, brawler, or boxer puncher? They said everybody falls in one. Which one would Regis fall in? Okay. Now, in general, the boxer puncher lacks the mobility and defensive expertise of the pure boxer. They are the most unpredictable among all four boxing styles. Yeah, I would say that. Y'all agree with that? The boxer puncher is the most unpredictable of all four boxing styles. More of a brawler? Regis, Remo? More of a brawler? Okay. I'd say he will be this weekend. More of a brawler than anything else. I think that'll give him his best chance. Yeah. Because, definitely going to be the outboxer. Okay, the boxer puncher is the most unpredictable among all four boxing styles. They don't fit in the rock, paper, scissors theory. So how the fight plays out between this style and other styles tends to be unpredictable. A boxer puncher's ability to mix things up may prove to be a hindrance to any of the three other boxing styles, true? But at the same time, their versatility means that they tend to be a master of none. Here's some commonly known boxer punchers. Canelo Alvarez. Pac-Man was a brawler too, yeah. They had him in pressure. Manny Pacquiao, yeah. Yeah, he could be, Remo, too, at times, yeah. Not all the time, though. Not all the time. Okay, here's some commonly known boxer punchers. Canelo Alvarez, Alexis Arguello, Marco Antonio Barrera, Dimitri Bivol, Tommy Burns, Joe Calzaghe, Ezzard Charles, Shakur Stevenson, Jamal Charlo, yeah, Jamel Charlo, two good ones. The Charlo brothers, boxer punchers, yeah. They fit that category perfectly, I think. The Charlo brothers, yeah. Y'all agree? Anybody disagree with that? I think the Charlo brothers fit boxer punchers to a T. Both of them. Julio Cesar Chavez, Kid Chocolate. Who's Kid Chocolate? Who is that? Anybody know Kid Chocolate's real name? I sure don't. Miguel Cotto, Terrence Crawford, yeah. Oscar De La Hoya, yeah. Nonito Donaire, Roberto Duran, Gabriel Flash, Elorde, Deron Ennis, yeah. Bob Fitzsimmons, Bob Foster, Tyson Fury, Joe Gans, Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Ryan Garcia, the Garcia triplets, Gennady Golovkin, Wilfredo Gomez, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Evander Holyfield, Bernard Hopkins, Naoya Inoue, Julian Jackson, J. Rock, Ingemar Johansson, Roy Jones Jr. Yeah, that's the first category I saw him in. Yeah, good boxer puncher. Terrence Crawford for sure, Remo. What you think about the Charlo brothers, Remo? Boxer puncher. Anthony Joshua, Zab Judah, Vladimir Klitschko again, Sam Langford, Sugar Ray Leonard, of course, yeah, Lennox Lewis, Jorge Linares, yeah. Jorge Linares, good one, boxer puncher, yeah. Vasily Lomachenko, Ricardo Benito Lopez, Joe Louis, Juan Manuel Marquez, Sergio Martinez, Carlos Monzon, Archie Moore, Eric Morales, Shane Mosley, Ken Norton, Manny Pacquiao. He was in like 3 of them. Manny was in pressure, brawler, and boxer puncher. Aaron Pryor. Wow. Sugar Ray Robinson, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Sandy Sadler, Salvador Sanchez, Max Smelling, Earl Spence Jr., Keith Thurman. Yeah. There's James Toney, boxer puncher. Felix Trinidad, yep, Felix. Olesander Usyk, Jersey Joe Walcott, Andre Ward, good one. I see some of these guys fit these categories to a T. Andre Ward, boxer puncher, yep. Jimmy Wald, Carlos Zarate. Now here's a few sub-styles, okay? Other categories. AB, yeah. Boxer puncher, right, Remo? AB. Okay, counter punchers. Okay, now counter puncher utilizes techniques that require the opposing boxer to make a mistake, right? And then capitalizing on that mistake. A skilled counter puncher can utilize such techniques as winning rounds with the jab, a psychological tactic, to entice an opponent to fall into an aggressive style that will exhaust him and leave him open for counterpunches. Counterpunchers actively look for opportunities to bait an opponent into becoming too aggressive in order to capitalize on the openings. Tank is good at that. Tank is good at setting traps and making people repetitive. Counterpunching can also be found in any of the 4 main boxing styles, and it is not involved with range distance, but rather with the mentality of making an opponent miss, and as a result, making them pay. They're in the middle of offense and defense. As such, Muhammad Ali can be considered a counterpuncher, even if he was an outboxer. Tyson and Sugar Ray Robinson as well, despite the former being a swarmer. Tyson, pressure fighter, and the latter, a boxer puncher. Sugar Ray was a boxer puncher. Robinson. For these reasons, this form of boxing balances defense and offense, but can lead to severe damage if the boxer who utilizes this technique has bad reflexes or is not quick enough. Very true. Very true. Counterpuncher has bad reflexes or is not quick enough, that can get him in trouble. Agreed? Commonly known counterpunchers: Canelo Alvarez, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. I know Crawford on this list. Charlie Burley, Ezzard Charles, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Terrence Crawford, there he is. Roberto Duran, Naoya Inoue, Evander Holyfield, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., Juan Manuel Marquez, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Archie Moore, Willie Pep, Salvador Sanchez, Earl Spence Jr., Shakur Stevenson, James Toney, Jersey Joe Walcott, Pernell Whitaker. Okay. The old peekaboo style. Excuse me for a minute. It's getting time for me to drop this link. We might have to, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, we don't have too many more. Yeah. Because I'm into my second hour almost. I'm talking about my live streams is always open panel. I'm an hour in and haven't opened the panel up yet. But give me like 1 more minute, 5 more minutes. Okay, let's talk about the peekaboo style right quick. Okay. Peekaboo style. A counter-offense style often used by a fighter where the hands are placed in front of the boxer's face, like in the baby's game of the same name, peekaboo. It offers extra protection to the face and makes it easier to jab the opponent's face. Peekaboo boxing was developed by legendary trainer Cus D'Amato. Yep, it damn sure was. Peekaboo boxing utilizes relaxed hands with the forearms in front of the face and the fist that knows eye level. Other unique features include side-to-side head movements, bobbing, weaving, and blindsiding your opponent. The number system, e.g. 3-2-3, body-head-body, or 3-3-2, body-body-head, is drilled with the stationary dummy and on the bag until the fighter is able to punch by rapid combinations with what D'Amato called bad intentions. The theory behind the peekaboo style is when, combined with effective bobbing and weaving head movement, the fighter has a very strong offense, defense, and becomes more elusive, able to throw hooks and uppercuts with great effectiveness. Also, it allows swift neck movements as well as quick ducking and strong returning damage, usually by using uppercuts or even using hooks. Since it is a defense designed for close range fighting, it is mainly used by in-fighters. Bobo Alston was the first known champion to use this as a defense. In relation to the physical requirements of this style, a fighter is advised to have very strong and explosive legs. This is because of the sheer amount of bobbing and weaving. Since a fighter chooses the gap with an opponent, they must be constantly moving in order to be able to find counters. If they stagnate, they are left in a very vulnerable position, able to be outboxed by long-range fighters. Okay. Commonly known peekaboo fighters include. These are some of the peekaboo fighters: Joe Hadley, Floyd Patterson, Leon Spinks, Jose Torres, and Mike Tyson. Okay, this is going to be the last category here. And we got two more short ones. Okay, Southpaw. Yep, before the win, Tyson. Peekaboo. He was on the list too. Southpaw fights with a left-handed fighting stance, as opposed to an orthodox fighter who fights right-handed. Orthodox fighters lead and jab from their left side, and southpaw fighters will jab and lead from their right side. Orthodox fighters hook more with their left and cross more with their right, and vice versa for southpaw fighters. Some naturally right-handed fighters, such as Marvin Hagler and Michael Moore, have converted to southpaw in the past to offset their opponents. Commonly known southpaw fighters are Joe Calzaghe, Hector Camacho, Gervonta Davis, the face of boxing, Tiger Flores, Zab Judah, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, mainly for southpaw, Vasil Lomachenko, Sergio Martinez, Manny Pacquiao, Earl Spence Jr., Shakur Stevenson, Odesana Usyk, Pernell Whitaker. And here's the last of the subcategories. Switch hitter. A switch hitter switches back and forth between right-handed orthodox stance and left-handed southpaw stance on purpose to confuse their opponents in a fight. Right-handed fighter boxers were trained in the left-handed southpaw stance, while southpaws were trained in the right-handed orthodox stance, gaining the ability to switch back and forth after much training. A truly ambidextrous boxer can naturally fight in the switch hitter style without as much training. Boots is ambidextrous for real. He can use both hands. He does everything with both hands. Okay, not just box. Said his father trained him to do that at a very young age. I knew the reason, but I forgot. I had read an article on that. Commonly known switch hitters. Emmanuel Augustus. What? He was called something. He used to dance when he was in there. Floyd said that was the toughest guy I ever ran into against Emmanuel Augustus. Terrence Crawford. Deron Boots Ennis. Tyson Fury. Is he a switch hitter? I've never seen Tyson Fury switch hit. Anybody ever seen Tyson Fury switch hit? Wow. And Marvin Marvelous Hagler. Nassim Hamed. Okay, let me drop that link in, gentlemen. Bear with me for one moment. And I'm going to take a look at the news and, see what's happening. Okay. Bear with me for one moment. Listen to the sounds for a second. Or would y'all rather have me sing? I think y'all rather listen to the music. Is Al Booger in here? No, he was in here at the beginning. He said something about some heavy snow in Delaware this morning or something. And we don't have a drop in Maryland. And we right next door to it. I can't see how it's so heavy in Delaware and we didn't get nothing. That's strange. Wow. That's that climate change nonsense. The world is coming to an end, man. Soon. My wife called me yesterday and told me it was snowing. A little bit. Okay. Now, anything on anybody's mind or anything, just come on up. Come on down. Okay, let's see what's going on in the news today. Did y'all hear about that 58-year-old man that fought yesterday, got knocked out in the first round? Why in the world? I think it was Louisiana, somewhere down south. Anybody hear about that? Why did they even sanction that, man? Why would they even? And I think the guy he fought was like 21, 22. Knocked him out in the first round. Calvin couldn't get his fight with Bullet sanctioned here. I think Calvin like 57, 58, something like that. But they sanctioned that guy down there. He was a welterweight. Got knocked out the first damn round. I'm gonna see if it's in this report, this news here. Anybody care about that? So Liam Power and Montana Love is on the Devin Regis card, right? That says Liam Power plans to make statement against weak-minded Montana Love on Saturday. Liam Power is prepared to do a number on Montana Love. We got a 10-rounder going on Saturday. See what they talking about. That's on the undercard. Montana Love don't impress me. He threw the guy over the top rope. Wasn't that the one? The guy stuck the landing though. Yeah, they on the Regis Devin card. Perro feels that Montana Love is mentally fragile and folds under pressure. In Montana's I was just talking about that. In Montana Love's last fight, he threw Steve Spark out of the ring over the top rope, remember? And Spark stuck that land and landed right on his feet. That could have been bad, man. That could have been bad. I saw that. And Montana Love got disqualified. And, Spark, he was giving Love problems. He was putting some heavy shots on him and nonstop pressure. Love got frustrated. Come over the rope. That's what Perro was referring to. He said Love is mentally fragile, and he's going to get to him. Perro is 23-0, 14 knockouts. Hard hitting. That's the one that was supposed to knock Shakur out in sparring, right? Liam Perro. Right, that's the one. Now, Perro is saying with a win over Montana Love, with the winner of Haney and Prograde. Nah. Why would he get the winner? No, I don't get that. And I don't think so. Because it says that would be very unlikely to happen. Because Haney and Regis are interested in big money fights. Liam Power would not be a big money fight. And Devin said yesterday he wants Tank if he wins. Regis would be happy to fight Teofimo or Ryan Garcia if he comes out on top, which would both be bigger money fights than Liam Power. Okay, so sorry, Liam. I don't think you're going to get that winner. Okay, let's move on from that. See something about the big deal. Premier Boxing Champion signs multi-year deal with Prime Video. All right. Interesting. Regis' progress age could limit effectiveness against Devin. Chris Williams. Prime Video has signed a multi-year agreement to broadcast Premier Boxing Champions events. Yeah, Prime was all in the NFL and everything too. Man, I hate advertising stuff and all the time. The move by Al Heyman. Has been rumored, but now it's a done deal and it's official. All right. The word is out that PBC's events on Prime will be on pay-per-view, not regular broadcast, of course. That puts more pressure on Heyman to put on events that fans are willing to pay. Instead of seeing a bunch of horrible mismatches, like Canelo and Jamel, or Munguia, or anybody that's never fought at 168 before, okay? Nobody wants to see that. Don't give us that. Don't give us that. Yeah, Just Duke gave us a list of some people Canelo wanted to fight. It was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. Anybody see that yesterday? Just Duke was cooking, and that list Canelo had out there, man, it's crazy. What is this guy doing? Come on, man. Oh, here it is. World's oldest welterweight, Scott England, gets stopped in the first round. Did anybody see that yesterday? Nashville, Tennessee. I knew it was down south somewhere. Yeah. Oh no, it was Tuesday night. Okay. Scott England made his pro debut at the age of 58. Why would they even sanction that, man? But unfortunately, the historical event didn't go well for England, as Sean Hunter stopped him in the first round. Now, how old was Hunter? England didn't win, but he's proud in regards to receiving the opportunity to participate in a professional boxing match. But damn, Scott, why did you wait till you was 58, man? Wow. And got stopped in the first round. You should have known that. You needed money that bad? I'm surprised they sanctioned that. That's crazy. Did anybody see that? I mean, hear about that? I thought more people would be talking about that. I'm trying to find out how old the kid was that beat him. See, the 58-year-old England was able to obtain a boxing license and compete in a professional belt, despite the fact that he doesn't have any type of amateur boxing background. Isn't that crazy? He must have some money and grease the right palms. Scott is a former radio DJ, turned news anchor, turned country music writer. As a young boxing fan, Scott wrote a letter to Muhammad Ali, and that letter led to a friendship. During a recent interview, Scott spoke about the initial meet and greet with Muhammad Ali. They don't say how old the kid was that beat him, but yeah, this 58-year-old man was the first time he boxed, and he had no kind of amateur background. I'm surprised they sanctioned that, and that was in Tennessee. That's good and crazy. I think it was Tuesday night. Fortunately, he didn't get hurt. He didn't get hurt. That's fortunate. So they had another press conference for Regis and Devin today, right? It said Bill Haney and Regis' coach had a heated exchange. Another one? Today, Devin Haney's dad had a heated argument with Regis Prograis strength coach Evans Tobler today about how Saturday's fight will play out when the two men meet. Tobler made it clear that he views the former undisputed lightweight champion Haney as a runner with a weak resume filled with low-level bombs. That's what he told Bill. It's hard not to see his way because one get through the last 4 or 5 fights on Haney's resume. There's fluff as far as the eye can see, Tobler insists. Only name on Haney's resume that is impressive is Lomachenko. And that fight had a controversial ending that made Dad look like the judge's protection. Bill predicts that Devin will be the one doing the knocking out on Saturday night in their 12-round fight at the Chase Center in San Francisco. I wanted to hear about the argument. Amanda Serrano dropped the WBC belt because the WBC won't sanction women to fight 12 3-minute rounds. Nope. So Amanda said, I'm dropping that belt. And so she's not undisputed anymore. That's a shame, man. I don't know what's wrong with the WBC. The other 3 sanctioning bodies are willing to let the women fight 12 3-minute rounds. Like when Serrano fought Danila Ramos, that was only for the IBF, WBA, and WBO. Mauricio, the WBC, didn't sanction that one. Subriel Matias wants Haney versus Prograis winner. Wants to send Regis to the hospital. Subriel Matias wants to face the winner of Saturday's fight between WBC light welterweight champion Regis Prograis and Devin Haney in a unification fight. The IBF 140-pound champion Matias says it would be an honor to challenge Haney for the WBC title if he's victorious against Prograis. Subriel wants the opportunity to prove himself because people haven't heard of him. And he'd like to face Haney or Prograis if possible. Haney has already made clear what he plans if he wins Saturday. And it ain't to fight Prograis. Matias. We're not getting that much talk at all about that top rank card Saturday. Let me go over that. Somebody wants to come up. Let's take a look at that top rank card. Take a look at the fighters and a little history on them. Let's take a look at it. Okay. One moment, please. Let me move it too fast. I think it's like 6 fights. I'm gonna go from the bottom to the top. It's a very good card. But Regis and Devin is just overshadowing it, you know. I was talking to some hardcore fans earlier in the week. They hadn't even heard about the card, man. That shows just the lack of promotion Top Rank is doing. And all those young killers on that card would be very easy to promote, man. Very easy. Okay. Now we got Damian Narva versus Michael Polite Coffey, right? They heavyweights. It's in the heavyweight division. Okay. A 2019 Polish National Championship winner. Narva, he's 12-0, turned pro in 2021. He last fought in June, beating Helman Ogren via unanimous decision. Polite Coffey is 13-4, and he turned pro in 2017. 37 years old, 1-4 in his last 5 contests, and is on a 2-fight losing streak. He last fought in April, losing against Fabio Wardley via TKO. Okay, that's the first fight. Okay, next will be Tiger Johnson against Jimmer Espinosa. Former Olympic champion, Tiger Johnson. Okay. Tiger Johnson, he's 10-0, 2016 Youth World Championship gold medalist. Turned pro in 2021 and has 5 wins via knockout. 25 years old, and he's 3-0 this year. His last fight was a majority decision in September against Ricardo Quiroz. Remember that one? Espinoza is 15-1, just 1 loss. What's up, Thomas Morris? Yeah, Andy Cruz is on Devin's card. They had to get a new opponent for him, Thomas. The first guy got hurt. Yeah. And the guy Tiger Johnson is fighting, Espinoza. He's 15-1, turned pro in 2017, 25 years old. He lost against Jonathan Escobedo Martinez in 2021, his only loss. He's won 4 straight since then. His last fight was a knockout win against Emiliano Cruz in May. His 4th win on the road via the power punch. Yeah, Thomas Cruz is on that card. Andy. I don't know the guy he's fighting. Then we got Rohan Polanco against Keith Hunter. This is super lightweight. Polanco, 2020 Olympics competitor, 10-0. He won the 2016 AMBC American Confederation Youth Championship. 25 years old, and 6 wins via knockout since turning pro in 2020. His last fight was a TKO win in July against Cesar Francis. Hunter is 15-1, just 1 loss. Turned pro in 2015, 31 years old. Suffered his first loss in 2021 against Armando Ramirez. Since then, he has won 2 in a row. His last fight was a unanimous decision win against Demarius Driver in 2022. Okay? Not a bad card at all. Then we have Jahad Tucker is on the card against Francisco Veron. This is super welterweight. Okay? Jahad Tucker is 10-1. Got that 1 loss, remember? Turned pro in 2020. 20 years old. Has 5 wins via knockout. Suffered the first loss of his career, his last fight against Nicholas Flass. That was in July. Veron is undefeated, the guy he's going against. Turned pro in 2020. 25 years old. 10 of his 13 wins by knockout. Nice knockout percentage. Beat Tamir Kirifov in his last fight in June. That was a split decision. Okay. Then the next fight is Richard Torres Jr. against Curtis Harper. This is in the heavyweight division. Torres is a 3rd-generation boxer. 7-0. Won silver at the 2020 Olympics. 2-time U.S. national champion. Gold medalist. 24 years old. Has won all his fights by knockout. All 7 of them. Beat Terrell Herndon in October, just a couple months ago. Knocked him out. His opponent, Harper, wow, 14-10. 14-10, turned pro in 2010. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, losing against Guido Vianello in October. Wow. Next is Bruce Carrington is on the card. Told you it's a great card. Bruce Carrington is fighting Jason Sanchez. Bruce Carrington is fighting, he's fighting a 10-rounder this time. He's 9-0, turned pro in 2021, 26 years old. He's already fought, this would be his 5th fight this year, okay? He beat Angel Antonio Contreras via unanimous decision in his last fight in August. Remember that one? This is his 5th fight this year. Wow. Sanchez is 16-4. He turned pro in 2012. Wow. He's been pro for 11 years and only had 20 fights. He lost against Oscar Valdez in 2019. That's when Austin Valdez won the WBO featherweight title. And Adam Lopez beat him in 2021. 1-2 in his last 3 fights. Okay. Then I think we got the co-main, which is the co-main is Dan Zayas against Jorge Portilla. Okay. Zayas is the winner of 11 national championship tournaments, 17-0. He was the youngest prospect to ever sign with Top Rank at 16 years old. Okay. His last fight, he beat Alexis Salazar. No, his last fight was a win over Roberto Valenzuela in September. And his opponent, Zayas, says, I am determined to close the year with a bang and to continue positioning myself as one of the main contenders at junior middleweight. In the new year, I'm aiming to continue my climb through the ranks, step by step, Zayas said at a recent training camp. That is why I push myself to give my all every day in the gym. Sanders? What is Sanders? (17-0). He should be kind of like in contention for a belt next year, I would think. He's fighting against Bruce. No. He's fighting against Portilla. Portilla is 24-3-1. He turned pro in 2009. Wow. He's Spanish. 4-2 of his last 6 fights. His last fight was a unanimous decision win in April against Ismael Flores. Barroso is also on that card, Thomas. He's fighting the guy that they cheated and took it away from Rolly. Barroso. Yeah, he's on that card in wait a minute. I'm not sure. I think he's on that card. Somebody help me out. Is Barroso on the card on the Devin Haney? No, Barroso is not on. He's on one of these cards we got coming up. I'm not sure which one. Bear with me for 1 second. One second. Okay. Devin said readers will be surprised by his power. Wow. Devin went and got some power from somewhere. Yeah. There's Canelo's options for May. Charlo Crawford Munguia. Wow. Isn't that something? Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see Canelo against Charlo Crawford or Munguia. I was going to save state boxing commissions for tomorrow, but I got like a half hour. Let's take a quick look at it. A quick look. This to come up here. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Wikipedia. Oh, here we go. Got it. Okay. The Association of Boxing Commission. Okay. It's a North American not-for-profit professional boxing and mixed martial arts organization that organizes contests and record keeping. It is governed by delegates of state, provincial, and tribal athletic commissions in the United States and Canada. Okay? The organization was formed in the 1980s when executive directors of various boxing commissions met to discuss how boxing was handled in their jurisdictions. Annual conventions are held and training certification courses organized for contest judges and referees. At the 2018 convention in Florida, the ABC voted by 34 states to 2 to endorse BoxRec as the sole official record keeper for the sport of professional boxing. Okay? On the ABC's website, they direct boxers with federal IDs and commissions to search records on fight facts, where state commissions report contests. BoxRec intentionally excludes from professional records certain belts, like AIBA World Series of Boxing, regulated by all state commissions, represented by the ABC as licensed professional boxing, according to law. The aims of the ABC are, ice looking good, people. Ooh. 18. Closing it on the record again. Just can't get there. What's up, Gregory Pratt? How you doing, bro? You missed the boxing styles. I was just going to close it up today with a little talk about state boxing commission. Since nobody don't want to come chop it up, but that's okay. Let's take a little look at state boxing commission. Gregory, how you doing this afternoon, GP? I'm just chilling. But the aims of the ABC are to promote continual improvement of boxing, mixed martial arts, and other unarmed combat sports. Promote uniform health and safety standards in these sports. Promote standard reporting between members, including results, injury reports, suspensions, and other medical information. Encourage communication and cooperation between member organizations. Publish medical and training information and provide education for all boxing and MMA related professionals. Establish and run a charitable foundation to aid indigent boxers. Encourage adherence to and enforcement of applicable federal laws by each member of the ABC. Okay. Oh, I appreciate it, Gregory. Appreciate you stopping in and give me that like. It all makes a difference. Did you hear about the 58-year-old guy that fought last night, Gregory? I mean, the other night, Gregory? Got knocked out in the first round. Yup. He got dropped in the first round. I don't even know how they would sanction that. How they would sanction that belt. They wouldn't sanction Calvin against Bullet. But two different states, you know. Two different state commissions. Two different sets of rules. That's why boxing needs somebody over the sanctioning bodies, the state commissions, promotional companies. They need a one commission or commissioner over all of that that kind of stuff wouldn't happen. Okay, here it is. Let's look into this. Amanda Serrano. She dropped her WBC featherweight belt. Okay. And I think they said that Sky Nicholson is going to fight, I think it's Lucy somebody, for the vacant belt. But Amanda dropped her belt because the WBC will not sanction the women to fight 12 3-minute rounds. Why, I don't know. It says combat sports athletes understand the need to master the use of their arms in order to strike their opponent. That's the wrong story. What are they talking about? Okay, here we go. And what could be interpreted as a transition from protest to mutiny on its way to what one day could become an anarchy, current Ring Magazine featherweight champion Amanda Serrano announced that she's dropping her WBC belt due to the sanctioning body's refusal to evolve the sport for equality, okay? As expressed in a recent post on social media. In response to the WBC's refusal to sanction women's boxing matches with 12 rounds of 3 minutes each, okay? I don't blame her. Her and Vanilla Ramos both showed they had the stamina and the skills to fight 12 3-minute rounds. Both women went the distance and both looked good doing it. And it makes a difference. You know, 2 minutes in a round, by the time you get warmed up and going good, the round is over. You know, just think, you get a minute into the round, you only got a minute left. You know, women need those 3 minutes. We got this big women's fight coming up in a couple weeks. Is it next weekend? Franchon Cruz and Shadeja Green. 10 2-minute rounds. Come on, man. It's not right. And it would be 12 3-minute rounds if it wasn't for Mauricio and the WBC. I don't get it. Did y'all think the women should get 12 3-minute rounds? Or you satisfied with 10 2-minute rounds? I know one thing. Katie Taylor would have been stopped a couple times. If the women had 12 3-minute rounds, Amanda Serrano would have stopped her in Madison Square Garden a couple years ago when they fought. And I think Chantel Cameron would have stopped her the first time they fought. But you got 10 2 minutes, okay? Now, the choice of anarchy as an adjective to describe Serrano's intentions lays in the concept of a man with his arms crossed and more powerful than 1,000 men bearing arms. Okay? I don't blame him. And as radical as it may sound, it may be just what boxers need in order to unshackle themselves from the tyranny of the 3% gang, the group of 4 major sanctioning bodies who hold lavish conventions every year where delegates from around the world gather to finally end up agreeing on one thing. The world needs more boxing title belts. Ain't that something? Every year. Inventing more belts. More belts mean more money for them. Every year at their convention, they all agree on one thing. The world needs more title belts. And they need to pay us 3% of their purses every time they fight for one of those belts. So, yeah, why not, Tim? Why not? You know, the men do it. Might as well let the women fight it. They had the sample. Remember, Amanda and Danilo Ramos, and both went 12 rounds and looked good doing it. Okay? Serrano, emboldened by the recent support of her peers in her recent title fight against Delilah Ramos, has now chosen to drop the WBC trinket due to the organization's refusal to sanction their title belt with 12 3-minute rounds, which is the way the fight ended up happening. But it was only for the WBA, IBF, and IBO. The fight ended in a masterful win by Serrano, in which she also defended the other three, IBF, WBA, WBO. And with several former and current female champs and contenders supporting the cause, either from ringside or by co-signing to her request in the form of a joint manifesto. Okay? The success of her initiative has now motivated Serrano to take it up a notch. Moving forward, if a sanctioning body doesn't want to give me and my fellow fighters the choice to fight the same as the men, then I will not be fighting for that sanctioning body, said Serrano in a social media post. Right on, Amanda. And if the other women stick together, give them all those belts. They won't be getting no sanctioning fees. You don't need them. You know? Turn all the belts in. After reminding the world of her numerous accomplishments in boxing and thanking the sanctioning bodies who accommodated her request, Serrano signaled that she is ready to continue her championship run only in this format going forward. If you want to face me in the ring, you have a choice, said Serrano. I've made mine. Beyond the 12-time 3 controversy and its possible outcomes, what would be interesting to see is whether the women's boxing community, notoriously underpaid as they are in comparison to the male counterparts, choose one day to ditch most of the alphabet soup organizations in favor of just one belt, which would mean just one sanctioning fee, among other things, or none at all. That belt is the one offered by the ring. Is this where boxing could be headed? I say hell yeah. And just like in that old French Revolution masterpiece by Eugene Delacroix, I say we should let a lady lead the way. Yeah. Come on, man. Mauricio in the WBC is always, man. You know, remember the fight Mauricio was down in Mexico, and Julio Cesar Martinez. Now he really did knock the guy down, okay, but the referee made a bad call and called it a slip. Mauricio changes the referee's call. Come on, man. Get instant replay. But ahead of a sanctioning body just going to change a referee's call during a fight. That's ridiculous. Come on, man. We can't have this. So I support Amanda Serrano 1,000%. Okay. She dropped the belt. The WBC wouldn't sanction women's 12 3-minute rounds, so she said, I do not no longer want to fight for the WBC. So when she fights now, she don't have to pay that 3% to them anymore, but you better believe they're planning another title fight, right? It's going to be Sky Nicholson. Let me see if I can see who she's fighting for the WBC belt. I think it's Lucy somebody. Yeah, but they're going to get that belt in somebody's hands as soon as possible. So they can get that 3%. You know, the WBC is saying somebody's going to give us that 3%. But it's all good. Because I know Sky Nicholson was saying she wanted to fight. She's number one. I think she has the interim for the WBC, and she wanted to fight Amanda Serrano for it, but she don't have to worry about it anymore because Amanda dropped it. Sky Nicholson probably will wind up with it because she's pretty good women's boxer, and she will probably beat whoever she fights for it. I'm trying to see who's fighting for that WBC belt. I saw it announced the other day, but I didn't take note of the other lady's name. Tim Layton says, boxing needs that, but you know it won't happen. No, it won't happen, Tim. I don't know why, though. Okay. Sarah Morford. All right. Sarah Morford ain't bad. So Scott Nicholson is fighting Sarah Morford. Okay. Well, it's almost just due time. We got 8 minutes. Scott Nicholson versus Sarah Morford ordered for breaking WBC heavyweight title following Amanda Serrano decision. I told you. Amanda drops it right away. The WBC ordered somebody to fight for it. They're going to get that 3%. They said, okay, Amanda, you dropped it. Somebody going to give it to us. You got those sanctioned bodies operate. And I heard the WBA is starting a whole new weight class. So what's that like? More belts for them to get money. I think it's going to be called Super Cruiserweight. I could be wrong, but I think Super Cruiserweight. So Cruiserweight right now is 175 to what, 200, then heavyweight starts. So what it seems like they're doing is they're going to move heavyweight up some. Super Cruiserweight will start at 200. So Deontay Wilder would probably be a Super Cruiserweight. But it's ridiculous, man. They really need somebody to step in, you know. The feds or somebody to just step in, man, take a look at boxing. Like they did baseball in the 90s when the steroids got out of control. Remember how the feds stepped in and had hearings and all that? It's boxing, but you know, it's all about that dollar. Remember a couple weeks ago I did the show on all the men's champions, 17 weight divisions, 81 champions. And tell me how ridiculous that is. Women, 17 weight divisions, 68 champions. And all 68 and 81 of those champions are paying money to some sanctioning body. 81 and 68, 149 champions that the sanctioning bodies are collecting that 3% from. It's all about money, you know. But we love it, you know. We are hardcore fans. But I'm not paying for no more poop, like my buddy Jay Hardcore says. And Mr. Canelo, he can bring all those guys up from the lower weight classes all he wants. I'm not paying for it. No. But I'm paying for this fight, sir. Regis Endeavor. Now, I think the way it works, if you subscribe to the zone, it's 59. If you don't, it's 70-something. I just subscribed to the zone last weekend to get the Ryan Garcia and Oscar Duarte. I had it before, but then I dropped it. But I got it for that fight. So I'm glad I did, because now I pay 50-something for Regis Endeavor. But we got a great weekend of boxing coming up, people. And I appreciate everybody's rocking with me again today. Nobody wanted to come chop it up today, but we still had a pretty good show. Okay. Appreciate everybody. Let me run down the list here. Who we had in here today. We had Gregory. Okay, wait a minute. Tim says 100, 200 cruiserweight. Right. 190, 200 cruiserweight. Right. Okay. So, Tim, you heard about the super cruiserweight that the WBA is starting. I don't know what. I'm going to have to look at it. I don't know what weight that's going to be. You heard about that, Tim? The super cruiserweight? I don't know what's that going to be, but anyway. I appreciate everybody that came into the building today. Gregory Pratt, appreciate you, GP. Mike Rhyme, Deep for the Win. Mike Masick, Remo, Tampa Tommy Morris, Tim Layton. Always appreciate Tim Layton. That guy knows his boxing too, Tim Layton, whose son's birthday is Saturday. And he's a boxing fan, so he's going to have a good birthday. Full of boxing Saturday night. And we had Al Booger in the building. No panel today, but it's all good. Okay. Appreciate everybody that's helping me get my small channel rolling. But you know what I always say? You got to be small before you can be big, right? Cat Sports, y'all. I'm out. See y'all over at Just Do Boxing in a moment. Peace.